Hi, everyone. It's Linda G coming to you from Northern California. And thank you all for being here. I got my lipstick going. So I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone. We appreciate your comments. I'm trying to get back to them as best as I can. As you know, I get overwhelmed. I had a really good show with my left ear, Carrie Freeman, and got some interesting comments. And of course, you're free to make any comment you want. One particular person who identified themselves as trans um, said that I had it wrong about uh, the Constitution, that if Trump was found to be a traitor, it doesn't automatically mean everything he did would be thrown out. And she sent me the specific language, and it was very good, actually. I thanked this person very much. But if he's found to be a traitor, everybody else will be put before the Congress and told to exit stage left. So, but I always thought it was Otto, and I had read it somewhere, but maybe it was fake news. It's so hard nowadays. You got to make sure you check and double check. And the other thing this person said was that Newsom has been running for president from the get-go, basically like he's a political person, like he's in the mix in politics. Everything he does is with his eye on becoming president. This is all about him wanting to become president. And this may be true, but remember, he was the first person, even though it got kicked out by Scotus, that allowed gay couples to get married. And I mentioned this to this person. I said, well, he did something a lot of people wouldn't have been happy about, but he did it because he thought it wasn't fair. And she said, well, he's always had his eye on the ball. So it seems a little bit, in my opinion, kind of a little bit prejudiced towards him. Roosevelt had his eye on the ball. He went through all the steps that it took. He always had wished or hoped that he could, and then he got polio, but he still fought it. I think that polio made him who he became as a person and became a great president. So, John F. Kennedy, when Joe died, his older brother, his father decided he would be the president, basically threw him out there. But he did a great job for the time he had. So I don't, I will disagree. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if he's always wanted to be president. I think he can do some good work. That's my opinion. I'm not saying right now that he will win, but as far as the trans community, I guess he said something in a podcast that upset a lot of the trans community, but he did some bills and stuff in favor of the trans community. So basically, I told this person, so show me who's the perfect person that's going to run. I think she didn't even like Pete Buttigieg. Who's that perfect person that's going to run, that's going to win, hands down? So anyway, the other thing that someone wrote was, oh, you and Carrie are wrong um, about George Clooney. His name slipped my mind. Don't ask me why. When he wrote that op-ed, whatever, to the New York Times, and he's an American citizen, he has the free reign to speak, and basically cut Biden out like he's dementia. Well, you got a problem, America. This is a guy who's living in Italy with his family. He's not here in the States, boots on the ground. I became upset by that because I don't see a PhD behind his name in neurology being able to identify Biden as having. In fact, they said if you read the writing of the transcripts of what was said by Biden, even though he looked like a deer in the headlights. It made actual sense. But oh, everybody's, all over it. He doesn't need to run. Nancy Pelosi, who just devastated the Bidens. His wife said she would never talk to Nancy Pelosi again, making these decisions on this man who had one bad day. No, I don't think George Clooney had that right. Fortunately, he said, I'm out of politics, which he should be, because he got frightened. Fair enough. And I know he's a good man and he gives to good causes, and his wife is really a good person. But but then he basically destroyed this man in an unfashionable way with no legalities behind his name, with no ability to, I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. But guess what? Guess who's the one that has the worst case of dementia? The guy standing next to him. So I want to apologize about I posted it on my community page. I want to apologize about the traitor part with the president. But I think it'll be real easy to get everyone out. And I also wanted you guys, somebody else said something that was wrong that I was saying, as it was news and it was not correct. And now I can't remember, but I believe anytime that happens, go ahead and tell me. Don't come at me like you're angry though. Just say, Linda, I object. So I've really been checking my sources before I announce anything. So we just have a few things. I'm going to be on tonight on live on SteamYard with Nikki. And I wanted to thank you. I got the wavelength of your pure intention, Michelle Rose Lorchelle, the wavelength. I've got Lost in the Wonderland. That came in the mail. Lost in the Wonderland. Elizabeth Fanning. That looks interesting. And then I got from Care Creek, Arizona. Oh, look at this. This is like an old book, 1935. Thank you. Indians of America. This is from Marcia in Arizona, 1935. Look at that. Spokane, Pawnee. That's very interesting. I should bring it up to Benicia and share it with Joy. Osage, the Dakotas, the Crow. Wow, this is thank you. Wow, I love old books. Okay, so listen, I usually lay down in the afternoon. Today, Jack had to have a beauty appointment, and I had bought these steps, and Lulu uses the steps. They're hard steps, not the soft ones, because, it'd be like me trying to step on a pillow to get in a car. It just, so I tried to get Jack up on the steps and he wouldn't do it. And then he would get his upper body, but he wouldn't get his back. I could not lift him into that car to save my life. So my son was asleep because he works nights, and he was asleep. And I had to wake him. I said, son, can you help me get Jack into the car? We tried. We did it one last time. Poor Jeff couldn't lift him. He was so heavy. Now, mind you, Lulu's lost 10 pounds. I don't know. Jack's appointment is with the vet on Saturday. I can't see the weight loss like I can with Lulu, so I don't know what's going on. I cut what they told me to cut, so I don't know what the heck's going on. But anyway, I got him to the beauty parlor, and then when they came out, I was going to help her put him in. I said, "Oh, be careful, she picked him up and threw him in." little thin young girl. I was like, eesh, oh my God, what a job. So, anyway, so it's a brand new place that opened up down the street and they're really good. And they did a good job of Jack. He was very traumatized though, because Mama took him somewhere and she didn't stay. He's such a big baby. Okay, so, and I wanted to tell you when I went to take my little siesta, my afternoon siesta, I got some friends I love to see, and they're the same. When I went to visit them, they do a little afternoon siesta. I said, good, because I do too. So anyway, while I started to, was resting and I couldn't listen to the news because they're going on about the Supreme Court maybe cutting our rights, okay, for voting, taking away our voting rights. And as I heard, I asked my guides, I said, is this actually going to happen? Are they going to do this? And I heard, yes. I'll throw on it, okay? But this is what I heard. And not to worry. They don't want us to worry. They said that low turnout votes are easy to manipulate, but the mass amount of people that are going to come out to vote in the upcoming midterms and for a president, it's going to be so massive. It doesn't matter what they did, even changing lanes, whatever they did. When more people, I looked it up too, when more people vote, parties must appeal to a wider range of citizens, not just their base. That can lead to policies that better represent diverse social, regional, and economic interests. Canada and New Zealand often see centrist coalition style outcomes when turnout is high, reflecting broader balance. But we don't need no reflection of these people, these cray crays that are. Did you hear he just, instead of 20 for, was it 20 billion or 20 million? I think it might be 20 billion. He's moved it up to 40 now. That Trump's going to give to that guy running. I just went blank word. You know what I'm talking about. So, uh, hold on. There was another good part. In France, 2017 presidential election, for instance, a strong turnout helped buffer against last-minute disinformation campaigns. When more people vote, parties must appeal to the wider range, okay? Um, Beyond one election, high engagement straightens democratic habits. It fosters awareness, accountability, and participation in other civic action. Okay, so that's what I was feeling when they said, yes, basically, we're sorry, but yes, they're going to try to throw this fast one and it's going to turn. It's going to turn. Right now, they just did a thing on how much prices are in the grocery store. You know, there's only so many of them. These rich people are, all living in gluttony and oh yeah, our stock market's going up, although it's petering out. Let me tell you, don't put all your although a lot of people's 401ks are okay, but the dollar is not doing well. Okay. Listen to the economic predictions that are coming up. So, oh, this is interesting. The 2008 presidential election turnout rose to its highest level in 40 years, about 62%, driven by enthusiasm for Barack Obama's campaign. That surge brought millions of first-time and young voters to the poll, flipping key swing states and producing the largest electoral margin in decades. Oh, 2016 and 2020. In 2016, lower participation in certain regions contributed to Donald Trump's narrow win in a few decisive states. The lesson: when large numbers of citizens mobilize, close races can completely reverse direction. So I don't care what Scotus has to say. And don't forget, Once, hopefully, more progressive young people are in there, Democrats are in there, they're going to make SCOTUS come to task. They're going to make them sit before a tribunal, so to speak, and say, you lied and told us you wouldn't touch precedent. You lied. Now you want to tell us why you lied? Listen, don't worry. Don't worry, okay? So when I was listening to this and I thought, oh, and then they said, yes, probably SCOTUS is going to overturn it. I heard yes. Let me read. But don't freak out. Don't say, oh, there it goes. No, you get enough people to come out. The thing is, I've always seen the midterms blue. And when the midterms turn blue, when the state has a representative with a good head on their shoulders, they'll change things so this partisan way isn't the way. Tell me about SCOTUS and the voting. They're looking for it. They're biting at the lips. They've been planning on this. It's a very ugly SCOTUS, by the way. And they're talking behind closed doors. The three there are three independents who want to see a just um, outcome are fighting tooth and nail. Their judgment will change the way we work business. Can I tell you something? Let me just say this out loud. My feeling is, let me ask the guys. I got to put my feet flat on the ground. Okay. A couple of them have no mercy. A couple of them don't care. But I don't know, I think Amy might be one of them. There's someone else that I feel knows better and knows they're cutting their nose to spite their face. That once they do this, once America sees they're trying to interfere with appropriate the voting process, especially for the blacks and the underprivileged, they know that there's going to be hell to pay. This won't hold. This won't hold water. I just watched that movie again last night, My Cousin Vinny. But does it hold water? Does it hold water? Okay. All right. So, all right, here we go. What? So, this is how hold on. So, George Seifert was on Facebook and they said he died. Did George Seifert die? George Seifert was a coach, a former NFL coach for whom there was an obituary circulating, but the veracity of what seems to be disputed. Some sources deny he passed. So there was an obituary for him at Bauer's funeral service. That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh, but the picture of the guy isn't the Seaford we know. Yeah, that's why you got to always check your sources. So I didn't send it to everybody. I just sent it to my football ladies. And somebody came back and said, no, he didn't die. Hold on, let me send this. Thank you. Boy, you can never be too careful. Jeez, you guys. Hold on. Oh my God. Check, double check. Thank you, you guys who come back and let me know the real 411. But I will tell you, I feel like SCOTUS will turn around and say, yeah, we're cutting their voting rights. But there's a couple of them that know they shouldn't do it. It's almost like they're going to cut their nose to spite their face. So I want to look at the shutdown. And apparently the Arizona congresswoman is there. She's in the building. They almost stopped her from coming in. She said, I am a congresswoman. So they let her in. And Johnson's running like a little girl. Let me shut this off so you guys don't have to hear it. There we go. Okay, tell me about the shutdown. Trump could care less. Let them eat cake. Oh, I can do this and I can do that with the shutdown. I love it. But see, he just doesn't understand. He used to worry about what people thought of him. Now all he's doing, he's got his nose up in Israel and he's doing all this stuff, acting like king for a day. They want to put his name in for the Nobel Peace Prize. By the way, he won't win it. I don't care what he does. He is talking to the Ukraine. We'll double check that. I've got to put that down so I don't forget. Ukraine. Tell me about the government shutdown. Give us a little, I always said the end of the month. Let's just double check, see if anything changed. The government shutdown. Tell me about the government shutdown. There's people all around it. There's a powerful woman and a powerful man. Here's another man, Jesus, and another man. You know those phones are going off the hook. Their constituents are very upset. They're barking at the moon. Tell me about the shutdown. Will the shutdown be over at the end of the month? The month of October. Now it's saying no. Will it be over before the end of the month of October? No. Will it be over the first week of November? It's saying, yeah, November. So we're in the end of October, November. Um, can I tell you something? This was like a psychic flash. While he tells Hamas, give us your weapons or we'll come and get them for you. He talks like big man on campus and that he's got this military. These military men can't feed their families. So what makes him think that, oh yeah, we're going to go in there? No, no. There's a lot of them that are going to be very upset with him and maybe not, hey, let's do the power of Trump. No, there are some Trumpsters, but a lot of them, like the farmers, are losing their caring about them. Um, hold on a second. So I just got a call. My daughter called, so I like to make sure I pick up the phone when she calls. But give me the final. What is the issue that finally makes Trump, like I told you, he's not feeding his, okay, this is almost like the last one. It feels like it has to do with air travel. Pilots might say, yeah, we're done, like they did before. They told them, you better open up the government or we're going to just shut it down. We're not going to keep working. While he's over there all pleased and I can hurt the Democrats, he's hurting too many people. It's not right. What a terrible person. He's not a very nice person. You can argue with me till the cows come home. He's not a very nice person. Okay. What is the final? What is the final that opens up the government, that makes him change his mind? This is the second time I've seen this. This is not necessarily a person. This could be a judge. There might be some lawsuit or something. Don't forget that okay, thank you. That Arizona Congresswoman Mike Johnson made a new rule, and you can't put her in office until they open up the government again. And the governor of Arizona said they're going to sue Mike Johnson. And it could be something that he knows he's got to open it up again. God, all these people around it. There's all kinds of people around it. Yeah. People are going to be very upset. They'll be marching in the street. Let's look at that no kings real quick. Tell me about the no kings. I'm just going to do one thing. Sorry. Angel of light and mercy. When we open up the government again, will it be because of Americans being very upset? A very, very big yes. When we open up the government again, is it because of Mike Johnson? Yes. I just saw this and I'll just bring this up, okay? Real quick, put it on the back burner. I just saw people, you know how Marjorie Taylor Greene says you need to do this? I'm almost feeling some people are being so hounded by their constituents, and I think this King's March is going to be a big thing, that they're all threatening to take him out as speaker. We need a better speaker that can. You said you don't have a game plan, so F you, we're going to do this. Do you see what I'm saying? I just saw that. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. Now, definitely before Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm telling you, it's because not that things are going to get great, but I see people. And also, he said he's not going to pay people. He'll be forced to pay people, or the United States will be forced to pay people. So the Congresswoman from Arizona, will she finally get put in? Yes. Is one of the first things they're going to do is ask for the Epstein. Absolutely, yes. Will they get the Epstein files? Yes, surprisingly. Huh. I thought they would go backwards to think of other things they can do to stop it. Trump has Johnson in his hand. Johnson's talking about how they're going to do something next year. I can't remember. And all I could think of psychically, dude, you're not even going to be there. You're not going to be in long enough. This is going to be huge, just like when Obama won in 2008. It's going to be huge. I'm not saying that to make you happy. I'm telling you, that's if it was even worse, well, I just told you, I think they're going to vote against voting rights. But what'll happen is the masses will not allow this to happen. They can override that. And then when you get the masses coming out, and I do see the military saying, no, we will not intimidate Americans. That's what I heard. People are going to start getting their power back more and more. You're going to see Trump trying to blame others too, by the way. Remember, I told you that. Now let's look at Ukraine. He said he's going to give, apparently, Zelensky's going back to the United States. Zelensky knows how to play it. My God, that guy is so good. Once this war is over, though, I do see him stepping down and taking a nice break. Ukraine. Is Trump going to help Ukraine win? Because he always acts like he will. And then he always falls back into Putin's pocket. We want the truth, the whole truth. The cycle will change. Okay. And here's something that's going to blow out of the water. Well, it might even be Russia trying to do something stupid. Um, working carefully, working away hard, trying not to be a fool. This is military action, okay? I think they're going to hit Ukraine hard. I think Russia's going to hit Ukraine hard. But the outcome is victory. Probably by the next full moon, the outcome is victory. The Ten of Cups, the outcome is victory. So, okay, so tell me real quick, what's going to happen to Putin? Oh, I don't know why. I'm almost feeling like Trump does a false flag, like, oh, well, we're going to give you these missiles and we're going to do this to try to scare Putin, but it doesn't work. It makes Putin mad. Just like with Netanyahu, they're just looking for a reason to hit the Gaza Strip again. But did you see all those people on the strip when they released the 2,000? Just thousands and thousands of people. And it was like, wow. And you know what? As they get healthier, as they start to get better, I'm not talking about Hamas. I'm talking about the Palestinians. They will do what they need to do to rebuild, but they are eventually, I don't know if it's in my lifetime, they're going to fight back. I see a female running Israel and trying to broker peace. This damage that Netanyahu did is going to be a hard one to forget. So tell me about Zelensky. Tomahawks. That's what Trump wants to give him, tomahawks. He's so cute. He wore a suit the last time he was there. And somebody said, oh, yeah, it's good to see you in a suit. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. I don't know if he's still allowed in there because she's gone against Trump. And he said, yeah, it's real good to see you in a suit. And he said, yeah. He said, I see you're wearing the same thing you wore the last time I was here. Oh, yeah. Zing. Oh, I just got another hit. I got to tell you guys. Hold on. Let me write this down. Let me write this down. I got to tell you, but first let me finish with this. Yeah, there's some hardship here. It's not sunshine lollipops, but the outcome is good. He brings peace to his nation. There's still a little bit of trouble. Not quite over the hump yet, but close. I've often told you I always saw Ukraine winning, and Ukraine busted their buns. They have done everything, even when they didn't quite. Biden just wouldn't let them shoot into Moscow. And as much as I loved Biden, there's some of the decisions, and that attorney general should have did the march into court with Trump as a traitor. Anyway, the hit, Comey. Somebody just showed that girl, whatever her name is, the one that's the attorney for trying to put. I just saw them saying she's not qualified. I just saw that in the headlines. The decision is made that she's not qualified. Just saw it. And that's going to be a big. And then while they're planning on, well, we have this other person, I don't know who they're going to do. The thing is, you have to put him through Congress and have him. He can't just say, "Oh, you're going to do this." So, but the other thing is malicious prosecution is going to work. Malicious prosecution is going to work. They said, "Hold on to your hat." Okay. Good news is coming. It's going to be good for us. We need these little pieces. Not that we're fans of Comey, but yeah, raking in your just rewards. A lot of in and out, a little struggle. Look, he's got the karmic star. Oh my God. The God power is with him. The justice is with him. That is going to work out for Comey. Let's look at Leticia James. Did you see her when she was talking for that gentleman that's running for mayor in New York? My God, she was powerful. She's weird. That's between you and me, but I like her. You know, like Fanny was a person who was powerful, and she's the type I could sit around. You guys know what I'm talking about. Be like, hey, girl, I know this fool. And she would be talking to us and we'd be hi-fi and Letitia's a little bit, do you know what I mean? She's built a different way. She's very powerful and she don't mess. I absolutely love her. I mean, she's that type of you say, oh my God, you're so great. She would nod her head and say, thank you. Tell me about Leticia James. Oh, and I just saw that they are going to hit up, they're going to file charges on, they're so desperate. It's like they're looking through a bin. They can't get anything on these people. I can't think of his name. Doggone it. So sorry, you guys. They're going to put charges against the guy with the mustache. You know who I'm talking about, the one that worked for Trump. Please forgive me. What is his name? Hold on, I'm going to find it. Security Advisor John Bolton. And let me tell you something. These grand juries are not getting the full Monte. They're not getting all the information. They're going off whatever this lady is saying. And it's not going to work out for her. She's going to get tossed off. I can't wait. I can't wait. That'll make us all feel good. That's a little shot in the arm that we need. We're so tired of bad news in the Supreme Court. Ugh. Don't worry, the Supreme Court will go down. They will go down. I still see them all sitting there. And this is what's weird. And this was an aha moment for me. When I was watching the story, Ken Burns' story on the Roosevelts, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and that Supreme Court, a lot of them were white nationalists, and they just voted no on they didn't want Social Security, didn't want this, that's illegal, he said, okay, well then I have the authority to pack the Supreme Court. And the minute he said that, they started saying yes, because that's what I'm feeling. I'm almost feeling this is what I'm getting. I'm feeling not only will the Supreme Court suddenly make a turnaround, but don't worry, we won't forget. We know they're just begging to keep their jobs. But the other thing is, I don't know if Trump is still around or whoever's in this Trump authority, but I see them kind of doing something because people will be in the streets. There's people are hungry, people need health care, and they're done. They're done. And people will be in the streets. Hold on one second. So I do see Trump blaming others for a lot of the decisions he made, but I see him trying to be nice to, he's over there busy and in Egypt and Israel and he he's just it's really sad. Okay. Now, Angel of Light of Mercy. The King's March. Is that going to go fantastic? Absolutely, yes. And did you love that even Fox News wouldn't go along with Pete Hedgeworth, whatever his name is? They said, no, we're not gonna have a reporter. Here's your badge. Talk to you later. And he couldn't get any of them to clap or act like they adored him. Tell me about the King's March. Is it going to be fabulous? Absolutely. Is it going to be numbers like we've never seen? Yes. And then Trump will try to, let's just do a quick play and then I'll let you guys go. I got to be back on at 6. It's murky out here, overcast. Angel of Light and Mercy. Angel of Light and Mercy. The King's March. No King's March. No King's March. Even though they're acting like, yeah, whatever, whatever. They are looking. And the thing is, it's so many people, they know, even if they get the Supreme Court to act like they're going to restrict people's voting rights, they know they're not going to be able to do it. Justice is here. Justice stands before them. There will be some outbreaks, you guys. There will be some outbreaks. And don't worry, ICE is in huge trouble. They will go back and get each one of those guys. I don't know how they do it with the mask, but they're going to go back. But look at this. People gathering together, standing in truth, passion for what they feel, picking up the pieces and coming off the battlefield. Success. Success. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Well, okay, last but not least, just before I go, let's take a little look-see. Your Honor, these two youths, Angel of Light and Mercy, will Trump still be in office in November? Yes. In December? Yes. Will Trump still be in office in January? In February? Yep. In March? March, I've always felt like March, April, something big would happen. So we shall see. Love you guys. Talk to you later. And watch me on I can't think of the name of it now. I'll be with Nikki. It's not on YouTube. It's the other SteamYard. Okay. Cheers.